Howdy y'all, I'm TJ, and welcome back to TJ's Top Reads. Now before we dive into the next book, I've got to mention I've been in a lot of waiting situations lately, family in town, shopping, stuff like that, and this quote from Lemony Snicket comes to mind. Never trust anyone who has not brought a book with them. So always be prepared. Today, I want to take a look at a fun little novel that all of geekdom will be hearing more about and seeing more of in the near future. Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I say seeing more of because the feature film adaptation has been announced with Steven Spielberg directing. Now that doesn't excite me just because it's Steven Spielberg, it really excites me because I know it's going to have a good budget. And this novel is so hip and so visual, I really think a cinematic version is in order. So what's so great about Ready Player One, and why should you read it? Well, besides being in the know when the film hits theaters, you should read it because it's a fun, indulgent romp into one particular area of geeky dreamland. In RPO, we're introduced to a slightly dystopian future where the masses are engaged, educated, employed, and entertained by an advanced virtual reality world. For the most part, all virtual entertainment has coalesced into a massive network called the Oasis, which had its humble beginnings as a video game. It has now grown into a way of life. When Halliday, creator and owner of the Oasis, finally kicks the bucket, he ceremoniously bequeaths his entire estate and control of the virtual world to the first enterprising gamer who can complete an insanely difficult and extremely convoluted quest in the game world itself. The first one to find the golden Easter egg gets the prize. It's a $240 billion lottery to be won by the most clever, skilled, dedicated, and hopefully deserving gamer in the world. It starts off a lot like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Our hero, Wade, IGN of Parzival, is a humble high school student who hopes to be the first to find the amazing prize. He dedicates his entire life to being an egg hunter, a gunter, and sets out with confidence. Will all of his dedication and commitment, spending all of his free time in the Oasis, see him through to the big win? Well, it's a long road to victory, but Ernest Cline is more than capable of getting us on the hype train and to our destination. The supporting characters and villains likewise have believable motivations. The love interest, come on, there has to be a love interest, is a great take on the typical male gamer's dream girl. Realistically attractive, competitive, challenging, and loyal in battle. One hopes every guy could land his own Artemis. There are a lot of things I love about this little novel, but two in particular make it delectable. First is the stylization. RPO claims its hipness with a slew of 1980s pop culture and video game references, both for purposes of taking some creative license with old ideas and providing some humor. And this stylization isn't just a random choice. Oasis owner Halliday grew up in the 1980s and has brought his obsession with that awesome decade into adulthood. Thus, most of the puzzles that he's programmed into his grand quest require the Gunters to be extremely familiar with 1980s film, TV, and games. We get quotes and cameos from a ton of classic creations. And this is a great way to rope in readers of all ages, young hipsters and older gamers alike. We rarely go a page without encountering a reference either pleasantly recognizable or enticing. A second element in this book that I really love is Cline's kinetic writing style. I feel like the story is always moving. I never got bored, and there are fun twists to ride throughout. This being a sci-fi book, there are occasional info dumps, but they're couched in wit and saturated with that 80s charm. I also enjoyed the annotations in the digital version that I read. Reviewing the novel in preparation for this video, I couldn't help but want to read it again. Beyond what Cline has borrowed and remixed for our reading pleasure, the sci-fi elements in this story are great. Obviously, the VR is a big deal, but the tech surrounding personal security was also interesting. And I won't spoil them, but there are lots of little hints at the tense state of society in RPO. But besides a slightly unhealthy global culture and some ecological disasters on the periphery, the world of RPO seems really fun to live in. So listen up, aging game devs. Start crafting your Willy Wonka-esque, air-crowning quests because we're out here and we're ready to gunt. Deliciously indulgent and easy to read, but far from simple or brainless, I think everyone can enjoy the wit and imagination of Ready Player One. It's definitely earned its place among my top reads. So what do you think? Did you love Ready Player One as much as I did? Are you ready for that film? Are you already in line? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you like this video, hit that like button and consider subscribing for more videos like these. I'm TJ, and I'll see you next time on Operation Cleverbox.